the day, they go to the Western Clash. They play with a sub, they play with a Sonic. And we have the next battleground, Leftovers. They choose Tomb of the Spider Queen. Granit Gaming is sitting in an 0-3 here, whereas we have a 2-1 track record for Leftovers. I really feel this is one of the maps, if you are Granit Gaming and you take it here,
yeah,
you are in a fantastic spot. But this is really where Leftovers are saying, okay, let's take the early 2-1, bring them on the map where they are not strong, where we ourselves feel confident in. And once we have the lead, we have 2 maps to close it out.
This is a map that you may have to consider taking or picking in the Diablo away, right? This is a battleground that we see it very often for the Leftovers. They first started showcasing Diablo on this battleground when he wasn't as popular here in the HGC. They love these lightning breath combinations, the forces, the engages, and really tight chokes, and of course finding ways to get damage there. So this is something that needs to be thought about when it comes to Granit Gaming.
Also, when we're coming back to it, the question that remains for me personally still is, do you ban out Murden again?
Yeah.
Really worked well. We saw game number 1 on Dragonshire. Fantastic play by Nando on Murden, had a lot of pressure onto all the heroes. Got banned out in game number 2, so this is something that we could see again from the Leftovers if they feel that Nanda has too much of an impact with that frontline hero to set up kills. And we've seen Chromie twice in a row now. This is another map where you could actually play Chromie.
Is there any heroes that you think about banning out for Sonic the Beast here? I know when you think about Sonic the Beast, you think about his Genji and you think about his Jaina. Those are the 2 heroes that really stand out for me. Is that an option you can go down?
Tracer is another one that you can play. The thing is just you have already someone like DAB on the map. So
True.
I think they have a pretty big overlap in the hero pool, but that doesn't make it bad. You can still, as we've seen in game 1, play Tracer and Phoenix and other heroes as well. But I don't think you focus on Sonic here in terms of bans if you're Granit Gaming.
Sure.
If anything, then you're trying to target DAB again. It's not that you can ban him out. That's not going to happen. But you can at least take his most impactful heroes away from him.
Genji banned. Hanzo the back here from the Leftovers. And now the question. Will we get any more specific bans here from Granit Gaming? Or are we going to stick with typical bans? Last time we saw the Malfurion for them taken away. Before that, we had Urel. They decided to go for the Diablo. Okay, so they're going to take it away.
It's a good adjustment for sure.
It is.
And also, the solo laners come to mind too. We have seen Urel banned out in game number 1, and in game number 2 she wasn't then picked. It's another strong hero. Phoenix actually getting banned by Leftover.
Wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, if anything, I would have expected that to be coming in from Granit Gaming, and they play a lot of Phoenix, but again, also with very, very mixed results. 2 wins, 9 losses for Granit with that hero. Oh, Tassadar, super early commitment to a double support composition. We haven't seen Jimmy yet.
True.
Could be our first game with him, but Leftovers also played Reyna. Had DAB on Reyna several times. That might be a hero that they pick up now.
I think Raynor and maybe a Kane could be a good rotation for them here.
They got Kane. Urel again seemed to be a high priority for them in the earlier stages, and they go for Maiev. They have it. That's also the answer to our question. Do they swap another hero, another player into Maiev? And this time they prioritize her high enough so that they can get her, since Granit Gaming committed to a ban on the 2nd, the 3rd spot in every single one of these drafts up to this time.
2nd and 3rd pick coming in here for Granit Gaming. Will they show their Hypercarry yet?
I think we have to.
Now Furion and Johanna.
Okay, they don't. Interesting.
But boy, do they set up for any Hypercarry they want to move into.
Yes.
You have a strong front line with wave clear. You have your double support that can sit in the back and protect that. Of course, provide the heals as needed.
So we have Tracer available. We have Jim Reyna still out there. Those are the 2 that immediately come to mind when you're talking about a high carry setup.
I feel like if you want to get rid of any of them, maybe take away the Tracer. They'd set up Sergeant Hammer.
Hammer is another option, yes.
Yeah, with her ability to have on sub level 4. Makes it harder for Maiev to engage. Do you be in Jaina here? Not to target Sonic the Beast, but I feel like it'd be a really good combination here with Maiev.
With the burst damage after you start the engagement, you lock them into the fight.
Yeah.
And they ban out Murd, and that makes me believe that there is going to be a Jimmy pick if they get it. Muradin jumping in together with Maiev, that's usually target towards a single hero. Tracer has the mobility that allows her to get away. So this is looking more and more to me like we are going to see Jim Reyna on the side of Granit Gaming if the Leftovers don't take it for themselves.
Urel Stitches.
Urel doesn't surprise me. That's really a hero that I could have seen banned out.
Alright, hyper carry time.
It has to be Jimmy.
Yeah. Cassie wouldn't make sense here anymore.
It's also, for me, it was always between Tracer and Reyna. And if you ban out Mur, then that's immediately where I say, okay, you're going to try and go for Reyna. You have already Maiev there. Does the Stitches really deter you enough to go away from that? I just don't think so. There's Jimmy. Illidan for Darkmorg. All right, we're going full YOLO now.
All right.
A Darkmorg is special.
What if the feed on Leoric in game 2 was like, I can't play Leo. Give me Illidan. High-level plays here from him.
He definitely can play Illidan. The question is Illidan strong enough that he makes a difference here? Some have already tried to play him. We had actually one game from Method with Illidan, and that backfired. Cassia on the last pick now. There's a lot of auto attacks here on the other side, so that works for that. The blinds are going to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, Illidan with a double support setup is actually not too bad, and one of the cool things about him is he really distracts from that backline, so then you have an opportunity to get the damage in with Reyna, so you have to really work around your focus. It also explains the Muradin ban even more. It's not only that you ban Muradin because he's great against Reyna, and you are a bit afraid that you have Muradin together with Maiev jumping in and trying to get the kill, but it also is a great hero when you're facing off against Illidan.
And it's lore appropriate against Maiev. Illidan, Maiev, perfect mix-up. Opposing teams here. This looks pretty good.
Illidan is not your typical side laner here. That's actually something... This is one of the things where I'm a little bit weirded out by some of the drafts that we see from Granit Gaming.
Yeah.
That they really... Darkmorg was always a player that is... He really likes mobile hero. His Karrigan play on this map stands out in the past, but the meta has shifted since then. And the one thing that I find sometimes a bit weird is that they're making these decisions of going into such a solo laner. Can work out.
Yeah.
But we have, for example, not really seen them with a lot of Urel play. We had one single game with Urel. And you have to think about it for a second. Granit Gaming played a single game with Urel. And we have Urel is one of the most popular side laners right now, and by far the most impactful, and they just don't play her.
He prefers to have those melee assassins that he feels like he can make a major impact on the game, right? Instead of the slow impact where you're soaking, sustaining through.
Yeah, but at some point I don't care anymore. At some point you have to just say, okay, I accept that this is one of the strongest heroes in the game right now.
Well, here we go. We'll see if the Illidan will work out. On the left side, for Granit Gaming, Wolfjo on Malfurion, Memecraft on Tassadar, Nande on Johanna, Darkmok on Illidan, and Raid Boss to play Raynor.
And over to the right side, we have Linked on the support, Deckard Kane for him, Sonic Lusub on Maiev. Holy Boss is taking, again, Urel. Mopsy, of course, finds himself on Stitches, and DAB is rocking on Cassia. But this is definitely a thought to hold for a bit longer. I mentioned earlier how strong and impactful Urel is in the current meta. She has by now roughly 70 games played, just below, and she has still a 62% win rate. That is insane for competitive play. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Darkmok here on Illidan goes down immediately, gets targeted, hooked, and taken apart. And you have to really ask here, is Illidan the pick? Even if they win with it, why does Granit Gaming not play Urel? At this point, you just have to accept that that is a hero you need to pick up. Sometimes the meta doesn't fit your style, but then you have to make it work if you're playing on that level.
Especially with what's available for control for the leftovers. I mean, right there, you saw Deckard Kane just get the full scroll right on top of Illidan. At that point, he has to decide to dash out or dash into the fight. If he dashes away, suddenly Raynor is exposed, so he dashed in. There just wasn't enough healing to keep him alive. He's a very squishy target, even with that evasion being something that he can use.
Early on in particular, Illidan is not really the strongest. He can do well in the solo setup in a 1 versus 1, but his usual teamfight strength comes online a bit later in the game. This early kill is not going to be the end of the game, and still that Illidan play can work out. The Illidan has a couple of arguments in his favor, and right now he's also being played in a double support setup. With the Tassadar shields, were very likely... Actually, it's going to be interesting what the level 4 choice is. Both could be taken here. The extra life leech with Illidan and Reyna are definitely a thought, but you can also make the argument against the burst that comes oftentimes out of Cassia or with a Maiev setup that you want to go for extra armor. Be that as it may, Illidan has support here that can help him in the later stages to have a huge impact in this game. For me, it's more so the fact that it limits the drafting that we see from Granit Gaming.
Well, for now, Leftovers continue to rotate back and forth. Urel doing pretty well in this bottom lane. Darkmok playing as safe as he can. Typically what you have to do when you're playing Illidan and you don't know where your opponents are at. Granit Gaming also working on their night camp, grabbing an early pressure play here in the middle lane. The Leftovers will answer back by working on the Giants. With your opponent being so non-aggressive in the bottom lane, you can make a play for those Giants, but actually Granit Gaming sniffs us out. They rotate down and try to fight their own.
It's such a common rotation these days that was not a surprise, but look at that follow-up. That's the kill. Malfurion goes down. Raid Boss is also dead. That's an easy double kill. The Siege Giant camp taken too. And this is just not looking pretty whatsoever on the side of Granit Gaming right now. They see the rotation, they know it's there, they move in, and Leftover says, well, you know what, we do not care. Thanks for the extra kills. We're going to take those, and we're going to take the bot wall.
So this is my issue with Illidan, is even though we've fallen behind, he's having a hard time in the lane, it's typical things that you expect. You don't really have a moment with Illidan where it's like, okay, I power spike heavily. This is my moment in the game, right? When you fall behind, you feel like you're behind the entire game. Sure, you can go for a hunt at level 10 and maybe try to find a number advantage somewhere else, but where is that moment where you say, okay, we've hit our scaling moment? When does that happen for Granit Gaming? Right now, I'm having a hard time finding an answer.
And Polyboss is actually really pulling him around here with those constant interrupts that we're seeing. The blinds of Cassia definitely do not help either. So let's see if they find these fights, but they can just, if they can drive the fight, Illidan excels. He's a hero that loves, when the forts are down, there's space on the map, that's what Illidan absolutely loves. Then all of a sudden your opponent has a huge distance to safety, you can chase them down all day long, and that's what Darkmok is going to be looking for. The early game is definitely going to be tough for him, and that's why I question that pick a little bit, because if you get snowballed in the early game on Tomb of the Spider Queen, we all know what's happening there. But again, once that we have that late game coming online, Illidan might actually really be able to push that back heavily.
For now, Leftovers continue to control the early game. A little bit of pressure here on Sitches. Darkmok does get that full engage on that main tank, but he has the help on the backside to help him up. Song of Beast comes in, getting a nice little fan of knives on 2 members to get in that reset in case anyone does move in. They're trying to drop off these gems. Another flashlight comes out, but Leftovers will attempt one more time. Yeah,
it was a nice interrupt, and now the turn-in is there. That's exactly the problem. You are lacking a bit early on, so Leftovers take advantage of that. They force these fights, they zone them out, and they get the Web Weavers, and Granit Gaming hasn't turned in a single gem yet. That in itself is not an issue, but it becomes a problem if they now lose a hero or two and lose those gems, so they need to be very careful with that.
Hook
already the hook hits Wolf Joe. He's going to be able to move away from this one, but Nanda is still not out of the fight. Sonic has actually taken a lot of damage here. It was a very good counter-aggression from Granit Gaming to shut him down, but he taps on the fountain and then starts re-engaging here.
Yeah, he can definitely tap there. Bottom lane, Urel continues to push in. Illidan's trying to clear up that web weaver as quickly as he can, but Polyboss just continues to bully him around and control the gem consumption. Now, Will should be falling pretty soon here. Wolf Joe gets caught again as he gets picked out. Cassia comes in with a fin, and Nande might be next. He has 23 gems here. No tether from Sonic the Beast. Looks like he already used that earlier. Yeah. The turrets.
Illidan is busy at the bot lane. He's going to defend that one. But here in the middle, that is a different story. That level advantage on Leftover side is just absolutely brutal. They are looking at a 1.5 level lead, and they are likely to... maybe they're not getting that 4 just yet, but they're likely to take that out pretty soon. So far, it's a fantastic game for Leftovers. Dominating the early game, identifying the opponent's weakness, playing to their own strength, and now, of course, going to attempt and get a second turn in here. Or get level 10 early and deny it at least to Granit Gaming. And they start with the camp here. The entire force of Granit Gaming is starting to focus a bit more heavily towards the top and attempt to get access to the turn-in point themselves. Keep in mind, they haven't turned in a single gem yet. Blinds are coming out. Darkmok all over the place, as you would expect from an Illidan player, and always gets the shields here from Tacita.
Yeah, he's making a lot of room here, actually. Finally, Leftovers is starting to come to the area, though. They were waiting on that Night Can to be grabbed. Their main goal here was to just stop that turn-in. 66 gems are available for Granit Gaming, and they did not drop any off. Currently still sitting at 0.
And now level 10 is so close for Leftovers that it should be impossible for them to turn in.
Polyboss is chasing here. That level 7 talent. Making it very hard for Raynor to back up.
Under. Body blocked. Iron Skin gets out. Okay. Plays around the tether. Mopsio not going for the hook just yet. Dodge attempts, but the 10 is there. And that gives us Gorge. We have Valkyrie too. Illidan still with an attempt to get some experience for his team and get them closer to level 10. But this is just bad news. There's enough gems in the hands of the Leftovers to get a turn in. They're missing 1. Can pick that up at any moment. And that would be a massive snowball. If they get the 10 and they get the web wave right now, how do you defend against that? Granit Gaming needs to hurry to get that heroic ability.
I really like this Gorge pick too. If you have a diver coming your way, one of the ways to make sure that they don't get that threshold of where you hit that moment where Illidan starts to take over is you just gorge him. He comes in for the engage, you drop it, and then of course you can decide if you want to force a fight. And if the fight does get forced by Granit Gaming with that Gorge coming in, you got to stay a while and listen, Warden's Cage 2, and you say, okay, we're going to fight right here. Leftovers, get the turn in, have 11, and they're looking for extra forts.
The good news for Granit Gaming is they will have their own 10. Do they have Tacita though? And the answer is no. Memecraft gets hooked. He loses 22. And Leftovers now have a 5 versus 4. 10 is there for Granit Gaming, but for another couple of seconds, they will have the Web Weavers in a numeric advantage. Can pressure that.
It's getting bad, man. It's going full Jenga. It really is. Middle wave, top lane, bottom lane, all pushed in. Granit Gaming now finally hits their level 10s. It will be the hunt picked up.
I'm happy that they go for the hunt. Because I think the only way that they can take something here is if they create numeric advantages on the map and an imbalance that they can capitalize on. And if they do not have that, and I don't think it's going to make a difference. They're going into the backline here. Going full linked, trying to take him down. He has to stay a while, listen ready. Sonic the Beast is low, very low actually. Here comes that engage. Big fight with Tranquility, keeping them alive at least for now. Reyna putting the damage out, but Urel is already on top of him. Popping the Ardent Defender here too. Leftovers on the move back. Darkmook trying to follow it up, running straight into the stun of Deckard Cain. But they push the fight back at least for now. Massive amount of cooldowns used here, but no one
pushes. Middle lane, bottom lane. This keep is already taking damage. That wall was destroyed. The bottom lane is still nice and healthy. And Leftovers say, okay, well, you have to defend that bottom lane. Let's just take their fort in the top. And they start to group up and say, wait a minute, you actually have people on the bottom lane. We can even look at a boss.
That gets sniffed out though, but it's the 13 talent advantage and the 2-level lead, the stats advantage that we're seeing for Granit is the big difference. Illidan is at the bot lane. He is going to have Hunt in a few seconds. The auto attacks are going to reduce that cooldown and he's going to try and hunt in, which is exactly what we're seeing any second right now. They are trying to get that
body boss.
Oh my god.
He got the perfect knockback and that allowed DAB to move in and get the Finn and just delete Malfurion.
Yeah, not even going for the hunt here. Nanda, if he falls, 33 gems for him. They want him. They get him. Leftovers are absolutely destroying Granit Gaming here. I mean, this isn't even funny anymore. This is honestly looking at this moment like a pro team slapping in a match the team around. That's what we're currently looking at here right now. Like, that Illidan last pick just does, or the last rotation does nothing for Granit. You have blinds on the other side, you have the Gorge, you have a Urel in that 1 versus 1 setup. Boss is just completely outplaying the bot lane, or did in the early game. There's a couple of gems turned in, but the only reason why Granit Gaming can turn in gems is because Leftovers committed to the boss. So now they can try and complete the turn in, likely to do that, but it only means, hey, you have a boss, we can't deal with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you 50 gems, we turn these in right now, and you give us the time to defend the top lane, and we allow you to clear the Web Weavers for free.
And Leftovers will definitely clear that up. They have the wave clear with W build starting to come online here for Stitches, especially post level 7. It's going to get worse at 16-2 when he gets that slow coming in. Yeah, Mayav as well. Urel hopping around too. I don't even think these Web Weavers will even touch the walls of their opponents.
They shouldn't.
Leftovers has everything defended.
It's also, if you look at the level discrepancy, it's absolutely mind-blowing. It's a 2.5 level lead. 13 talents and yeah, just nowhere to be found. And again, if you're that far ahead, it's not only about the talent advantage. Normally, when you just have a level difference, it doesn't matter too much. But this is a problem of stats advantage. Illidan hunts in. Valkyrie is not connecting. Gorge is there. That might actually be a good fight for Granit Gaming. If they can get the fight here. Nice Condemn comes out. Tranquility keeps them in play a little bit longer. But now Darkmook is in trouble, and he goes down.
Gorge on Raynor. Able to stop some of that damage for a little bit. Leftovers answer back. DAB did get low, but the potions are too much.
Potions are simply too much. For a moment, it even looked like they could maybe get a kill against Stitches here as he was in deep. But then Deckard keeps them alive. And after Tranquility is over, there's just nothing to heal out all the damage anymore. And with Illidan falling first, that's just lights out.
I mean, if that was even talent tiers, maybe would have worked out. The Web Weaver getting the damage in there too with this casting animation would have been close enough to maybe help secure that kill.
I mean, we had for a short period of time, we just had a double talent advantage for Leftovers over Granit Gaming. They just now got the 13 talent. They're more than 3 levels behind.
Leftovers farming.
I mean, let's put this in perspective. They haven't taken down a single fort yet.
No, they have not.
To be, let me actually double check. Have they taken a turret?
They got the one in the middle. They got the gate in the middle.
Yeah, they got the gate, but they didn't get the turret. They haven't taken a single turret down. Now, that is a problem, and it's also something where if you somehow win a fight, if they somehow take a fight at any point and they actually win, take 2-3 heroes down, and start to take these structures, they will very, very, very quickly gather the experience. That's the one way back into this game. Win a team fight. You have to win one where you're down a talent and down several levels, because that's not going to change. And then you're going to try and take the structures down. But it looks very, very likely that the leftovers are just completely rolling over them right now. This is not a snowball. This is an avalanche that we're watching.
Memecraft just using a mental shift there in the middle, thinking that a hook was going to come out. That's how terrified he is of getting picked off. And Leftover just go straight in. Put some damage on the core here. They back up when the hunt pops in. Stay on while Listen connects. It hits 4 members. Wolf Joe is fine. Provides heals, but that's the Warden's Cage. That's the Phantom Knives. Sonic Love Beast is putting out the damage right now.
Yeah, DAB2, this Cassia, and there's Malfurion gone, and they are just scrambling, rushing away as the Web Weavers are taking down the bottom keep, and they are going for the core right away. 11 kills against 0. 17, nearly 18 versus level 4. Dartmoor goes down on Illidan again, and this is honestly brutal to watch.
There it is, another pick and raid boss. Memecraft trying to stand firm here. Johanna on the bottom left has the Hearthstone, and she got beat up a little bit too much. Doesn't matter though, because Leftovers turn their attention towards the core, and they will get the win, going up in this series 2-1, and they are one step away from securing their slot at the Western Clash.
Great game of Leftovers. Nothing else to say there. 13 kills against 0, and again, they are playing with a sub.
You know who's disappointed about that match right there. Besides you.
I'm honestly a bit mad.
No?
Seriously. It's like Granit Gaming has played better and better and better every single week. I was so impressed with their games.